What to do if you get injured in dancing and you cannot dance anymore. Hello my beautiful subscribers, Rasa the dancer is here back with you. Now today's topic we are having because one of our beautiful subscribers on this channel actually had this question, and Jamie, this is for you. Jamie has been going through a little bit of an injury and she can't dance, and she wanted me to make a video of how to deal with the situation when you have an injury and you cannot dance for a long period of time or anymore or whatever that might be. So I thought Jamie must not be the only one. I know I have enough experience to say of what to do when you are injured and you cannot dance. How to go through that kind of period. And I know also a lot of people who really dance on a regular basis, they might not have great injuries, but they do have moments when they get hurt and they cannot dance for a while, and it really affects our mental health, because if you're dancing all the time and you're feeling so happy because it's your hobby, you're meeting your friends, and suddenly you cannot do it properly anymore, it does have an impact. So since that is the topic, we're gonna talk about it right now. Alright, first let me start with my experience. Some of you already who's in this channel, you've heard all about this. I have 2 or 3 slip discs in my neck. I had not broken, but ripped my muscles in one leg. I ripped my muscles in the other leg. I had wrist issues for a while, and now and then my back hurts and my knee hurts, whatever. So all kinds of things. But I think my neck and the legs were the worst. With the neck, I still kept on pushing through, because even though I was in humongous amount of pain, numb arm and whatever, I kept on going. But with the leg, I had no choice. So when my muscles ripped in one leg and then ripped in another one on another time, well, you just can't walk. The leg is like this, you know, it's loose. So I was out for, I think, 3 or 4 months. So I recovered quite quickly. But those 3-4 months means nothing. And not only nothing, even to the toilet, I couldn't even take off my underwear or put it back on. So fill in the blanks. So in the beginning with the first leg, when it happened, it was devastating. But for some reason, I think this is the tip that I can give you if you're really out. The way you look at world in general, all little things that happen in the world for you, towards you or towards your friends or whatever, however you look in general, your outlook towards the world has a big influence on what happens to you when something bad happens, like really bad. So I'm in general an extremely positive person. So sometimes people look at me and they don't think I'm logical. But I have so much bad experience in my life, and I always came out of it better. So my experience is like, you haven't gone even through half of what I've been in my life. And yet, I always come out on top. So my first and most important thing is to not focus on the fact that you're going through something. Focus on the fact that you know you're gonna come out of it. I mean, we're talking about like an injury that you're recovering from, right? So of course it's a different subject, which we can talk about later. If you injure yourself so much you can never dance again. But if it's something like ripped leg, surgery on a knee or whatever, where you out, but you know that if you do the right, if you do the right training when recovering and stuff, and you do the right stretches and you pay attention to all the things that the doctors and physios are saying, you will recover. So I would say if you have an outlook with a bit of positivity in general, knowing that no matter how bad things get, it always gets better. It will. Then it kind of is easier as a whole. You can kind of just be like bumped, but not really depressed. Okay, so another point. If you are out you're injured and you cannot dance, and dancing has been a big part of your life and you're going regularly, and it's one of those most important things for you to do besides the other normal things. I would say also, a lot of people say you should understand your emotions, you should allow yourself to feel things, and I agree. But then you should occupy your mind with other things. So, my injury, for example, with the legs, I couldn't move my legs, yes? So, I would be educating my mind. So, I would be watching loads of dance videos. I would be trying to memorize, the routines. I would be downloading all of the newest music. I would be learning how to DJ. Why? Who knows? But I would just think about, I'm taking this time, but I'm gonna, when I come back with the legs, this is gonna be so much more advanced. So I was doing those kind of things. And then, I would be doing my arm exercises with the little weights in bed and stuff. So it's you have to let yourself feel and grieve and maybe feel sorry for yourself a little bit, oh, why this happens to me. But then you have to occupy your mind, because if you don't and you don't have a plan of what you're going to do each day, the mind always going to go into the default of you sitting in bed, you cannot do anything, you cannot dance, and suddenly that takes over, that becomes your thing. And this is where you start feeling those depressive moments. And maybe also, if you already were inclined to depression a little bit, or you were inclined to sadness or unresolved things, and you went dancing and that helped you to feel better. So when dancing is taken away, all of those emotions, if they haven't worked through yet, they're gonna keep flooding and it's gonna be strong, and you're not gonna have the dancing to deal with them anymore. So you have to keep occupying your mind, stay focused on the goal that I will go back to dancing, but whilst I can't dance, what can I do to keep going forward in this month as I'm recovering? Now, if you have some people that love you in your life, and not everybody's lucky to have those people, but if you do, let them help you. Let them help you. If they ask if you need something, tell them you need something. And then when you get better, you will look after them, okay? But just a lot of people, there's so many people who are just oh, no, I'm fine. And then you're sitting there and you're on your own. And they're some people would say, oh, do you want me to come over? And you wouldn't want to inconvenience them. And you'd be like, no, I'm fine. And then again, you're on your own and you and you're sad. So let the people help, and also at your worst, don't alienate. What is the word? Do not make other people pay for your mistakes, kind of thing. It's you're injured, it's not their fault, right? And sometimes when months go by and you will get to a point where everything will make you angry, or everybody will seem like nobody understands what you're going through. Yes, of course they don't. But it's not their fault that their legs haven't broken. You know what I mean? So it's you gotta remember, these are the people that love you, and you just, when you're having a bad moment, even if you're gonna explode to them, just remember to apologize and say, look, I understand, I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that, right? So just remind yourself that it's good to surround yourself with people who love you. Don't stop pushing people away just because you think you're inconvenienced. And also make sure that when you have those bad moments, you're going to explode on somebody, make sure you apologize. All right, and now I'm just going to say the obvious. Those were more for how to occupy your mind, how to focus on the positive, let yourself feel whatever you need to feel, but then just focus on the things you can do whilst you are not able to dance. So if you occupy your mind and just keep it going, surround yourself with the right people, you're going to be pushing through it, and the time will go, and suddenly you'll feel oh, I can dance again. Now, the other thing that is really important, besides all of that, is the actual recovery. Every injury has its own recovery process, and too many people ignore it, and too many people rush. I know so many people who had some injuries, they were recovering, and they were just good enough to start dancing. Couple of dancing nights, and they're much worse than they were before. They tweak, they, twist, something happens, whatever, depends on your injury. Do not rush. Listen to your doctor, listen to your, physio people. They will say, because usually I'm the opposite. I feel like I'm not ready, I need to recover more. And they say to me, you cannot not go, because now you're working on fear than reality. So they will push you. But if they're saying you have to wait a little bit more and you're feeling fine and you're like, and you go, just trust the system and do all of the steps that you need to do so that you would also recover healthy. And then you can just continue, I recovered from one leg, not so much, but from the other one, I learned from the first one mistake, and the other one recovered perfectly fine, and I could do whatever I want with that leg. But you have to trust the system. Make sure you do the proper exercises and stretches or rest or whatever is told to do. And do not rush to come back, because whatever you feel you cannot wait anymore, it might get much worse. Then you don't listen to your doctors. Well, I hope, Jamie, specifically you will be finding this helpful. And of course, if anybody else is going through an injury and cannot dance, please let me know in the comments. Maybe you have some advice of what actually could help others as well, how to go through this time when you cannot dance. Now, in the meantime, guys, I'm gonna leave you with my kiss. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, show some love, and of course, like the video. It increases our ratings, so give us some support if you don't mind. And of course, guys, I'm gonna leave you here with some videos about injuries. The injuries that I've been through, you can hear a little bit more in depth about that as well. So guys, good luck, look after your bodies, and I will see you in another video.